Hello cosplay world, I'm Knives. I'm here presenting the first installment of Knives Cosplay Rants. Yeah, they're just rants. Different materials, things like that. And today I'm starting you off with something that I started off when I started doing props and more advanced cosplays is chicken wire. Now I know this is not chicken wire. I don't keep it on hand anymore, because it's been phased out by this plastic mesh, at least for the bigger stuff, because this doesn't hurt. These edges, even though they're nice and pointy, yeah, they're fine. If you were to have, sharp edges, edges of chicken wire, they cut you up pretty good. So I didn't like that at all. Now, chicken wire does form and shape pretty well. With this, you'll have to cut it. It cuts with scissors. These are crappy scissors. You don't want to use your sewing scissors. You can just cut right through it with scissors. Boom, no problem. Form it to whatever you want. Put down, a twist tie. A little piece of wire. Or you can sew it up actually. You can just take some regular, whatever you have, yarn. I would not recommend anything weaker than nylon thread. Nylon thread is kind of pushing it. That's as weak as I go. And you get a basic form. You have to hold it down though. That's the only weakness of it versus chicken wire. But when you're in these things, you don't want to get cut up. You don't want to get messed up. That's not part of your day. You don't want to be bleeding the suit going, yeah, I'm having fun. Oh my god, I'm bleeding. Oh, this hurts so much. You want to have these things. Plus, it's so much easier to cut and form and shape because of the, the grid. Now, I do a lot of work in graph paper and CAD and things like that. And when I do a scale design, I can say, okay, well, each one of these little grids on my map, on my design, is equal to a ½ inch on the material. And it transfers directly to the pattern. I don't need to worry about drawing anything on it. You can't really draw, so that's kind of helpful. Now you saw I had this stuff here. Now I still use it because sometimes you need to mold. You need to shape something that will hold more detailed structure. And let me explain what I mean by that. See how it's all bent up? You just bend it, shape it however you like. Make your little sculpture, whatever you're making. I think I'm gonna make a little triangle. I'm gonna make a little hat. Yep, a hat. It's a hat. And it just stays there, no problem. You bend down the edge, boom. See, bent it down. It's not gonna come undone. This one you kind of have to secure in place, and still, you can secure it better. You just sew it in. You can just go in with a needle or a leather needle, go in and run the line down the thing. And I think it's very awesome that they have these spacings in there, because you can just cross stitch all these little intersections together, and it makes a very tight, easy way of lining up your edges. You don't end up with so much overhang. Whereas this, you got the metal, you can only bend so far down. Now this is the medium amount of detail, I'd say. If you were making facial parts or things that would take forever to cut out and put edges on. These edges would take forever to do all this work. And it's not as high detail as this. You see the grade, it's much smaller. And to the next step of small would be this stuff. I don't know if you can see how small it is compared to this. Yeah, you start with this, and then you work your way down. And it's the same stuff, you just fold it and form it, and it's very nice for doing high detail masks or things that you don't want edges on. Things that you would need just like a little bit coming off your main body, but you don't want to have to sew a little edge on. You don't want a little bit of clump here. You want a smooth transition. It's pretty awesome. Now, let's see. Now, this stuff here, another reason why I like it is it's cheap. This stuff cost me, I got it at the end of the season, and they were not getting any more of it. This is 45 square feet for 10 $10. Awesome. That's a good deal. They sell chicken wire all year round. They don't lower the price. Ever. As far as I know. I can't say ever. Some people are like, no, I saw them lower the price. It was a sale. Of course it was a sale. And these can be found at your local home improvement store. This is also a local home improvement store. It's called Gutter Guard, and it is found near the gutters. Imagine that. It's a bit more pricey. It's about 20 feet by, I'd say, 8 inches, I think. 8 inches. I should be able to know this. 6 inches. We'll say 6 inches. It's about $5. It all depends on what time of year you get it to. Same thing. If you get in the fall, it's actually more expensive. People are doing their gutter work. Yeah, I think winter is a good time to buy it. This stuff is found like right next to the chicken wire. If you go look around, you'll see a green kind of hexagon-based chicken wire. It's plastic. I don't get it because it's more expensive, and I like the grids. The grids make it so convenient for cutting your pattern out. Now, what you'll commonly see cosplayers use is this stuff at craft stores. Now, it's pretty expensive. This is, I don't know, like $5. $5 for 6 sheets, and this is only, what is it? Let's say 1 foot by 1.5 feet. So you're getting 9 square feet, $5. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Now, there is some benefit to it because it has the 1/8 of an inch grade. It's pretty. I mean, if you need to do something in that particular size, that's cool. It does sew up real nice. You see the sews, the holes. Yeah, the holes. If you line them up over each other, they fit perfectly. You can get real nice, clean seams, and they don't fold over as easily as this black stuff here. But you're going to be putting stuff over it, usually. Yeah, you're probably going to be putting stuff over it. You see people make these suits out of the big stuff. I think they've got circles and different shapes like that. You can get these at Hobbit stores. But for my price, at the big structural work, like you need to make a big suit, like 2 of these. 2 of these will probably get you a full suit. Depending, if you got something really huge, maybe not, but I can squeeze out a suit with 2 of these. $20 for a suit base. It's pretty cheap, And I use zip ties because I can get lazy. These are huge zip ties. I use smaller zip ties because I don't want the stuff sticking out, bumps and things like that. I use twist ties. You go to a store. I keep saying I hate that. Conversational pause. Anyway, go to a grocery store, maybe snag a couple twist ties out of the vegetable department, fruit. Anyway, they also sell long strings of the twist tie material in garden sections for tying off roses and things like that, and that's pretty convenient for me because I can just go and get the length I need. I don't need to cut each little bit, whatever I need. But if you don't have money, they don't guard the ones in the vegetable department in your local grocery store. I use these for organic or flexible cosplay. What I mean by that is I don't use these for mechs. I use sheets for mechs. This would be a pain to build a structure and then have to cover it with something just to have it, and then I have to reinforce it too because I don't want a mech that I can. Okay, Nirvash was squishy. I made Nirvash out of this stuff. He was squishy. You can hug him. But most mechs I don't want it to be bending and curving as I'm walking. These are wonderful for fursuits, I'd say. Maybe scary suits, a little off-branch scary, scaries. It's cheap. I remember first doing this in the chicken wire. I stuck my arm. I made the angel arm out there. I stuck my arm in there, cut my whole. I had scratches up and down my arm. Never again. Found this stuff. Said I like this stuff way better. And when you're in a suit, you don't want to get all cut up. You don't want to get messed up. And to be fair, getting cut up, bruised, burnt, all that is par for the course as far as cosplay is concerned. It's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna drop something, something's gonna happen. But I like to cut it down as much as I can. I like to keep things safe. And you don't want these suits. You want them to breathe. You don't want a sheet material like Wonderflex. I wouldn't use Wonderflex for a whole body suit because you want air to pass through as much air as you can, especially in your armpits, around your pelvis, the little, you know, pelvis, and then around your quad. Right, that's where you want to keep it cool. You don't want to deal with dehydration, getting tired, having your friends have to pull you out. You know, it'd be kind of embarrassing for the EMTs to come up and say, "Oh, we got, you know, someone in a suit. We pull them out, cut them out of your suit." They'll destroy your suit too. If they have to come, they'll destroy your suit to get you out of it. And we all don't want that. Actually, we don't want to pass out in their suit in the first place. Anyway, this is good for the fursuiting. It's also good for the big bodysuit things. You need to be flexible and be organic. I made sin in this. I know it's kind of scary. People call me scary. And it's good for the paper mache kind of stuff. I am not a big fan of paper mache. I like other means, but if you're gonna try and use chicken wire, this is definitely a superior substitute in my opinion. Especially when it comes to fabrication. You don't want to you spend a lot of time curving down the edges and the razor bits, you know, the razor sharp edges of the wires left when you're cutting through it. And it's tougher. You gotta, for the mesh things, you cut through it with wire cutters or, you know, the heavy bolt cutters. I have metal shears. I have metal shears I use to cut heavier metals. But this stuff you can go with the scissors. In all likelihood, you don't have to go out and buy a pair of scissors. There's probably an old pair of scissors in your house, and you don't have to spend all the money to go out and get, you know, shears and equipment, all that good stuff. Try and save you guys money. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'll let you all go. This has been Knives. Please tell me I'm not schizophrenic and I'm not talking to myself. Do all the nice things like ask me questions, what you want to see, what you want to learn about. What have I not explained well enough? Because I'm sure I'm rambling and I'm not getting all the details on these things. I'll be happy to post another video about these things if you're not completely understanding it. More